And we're back. And I just noticed this... No, wait, that table is where the thing fell, so... That's not... Oh, right, it undid us finding it, so...
Behind the table were some damaged pipes. Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence. Some kind of pouch. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. I was on the right track.
Okay. We did have that one hint.
On the pouch, inside the pouch were two... Another coded... So,
Yeah. What's that guy's name again? I skipped over it. Todd. Since we've got that hint of who was it to, these things tend to be terse. Well, the first one was terse, so... I only wonder what kind of crazy accent that is, even, to make that letter be something. So this first word... 5, 6, 7, 8... Carchon has 7 letters. Nico's last name has 7 letters. Plantard's name has 8 letters, it would fit. And 2 A's in it. Let's try filling that out. Plantard. It looks like the same name from before. It's annoying. It's like Yamada, wasn't it? Just a moment, I've got a cell phone call. I'm back. Nothing serious. You... It's probably murdered. U-R-D-E-R-E. Where's that symbol? There's not much that can be but ale. Or an I. That would also make that Pierre. Ild. Going with killed. That would be this. It could be that's just a... Well, I guess that could just be S. See if that looks right. Imelda? Carshon's wife? Yeah, must be doing this right, but I didn't... Yeah. They were closer than they thought than they looked, I guess. Yeah, it looks like... It looks like a bad punctuation as opposed to an accent. It was Arno, I think. From, followed... Oh yes, no, it's really coming together. I'm guessing that's he. Because it's clearly a pronoun. Must have... We've got a... No, wait, that's because that's V, and I'm... Yeah. Be vigilant. These girl... They're talking about us, aren't they? He will come for us.
Plantard. Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arno and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her, and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start taking notes of names now, so I can, like...
There was nothing of interest beyond some bloody debris.
Clearly this is a take note of names so that you can check them without having to...
I had decrypted Pierre. Full report
See, I
to
could just
this
get Arno and
I've
Yamada.
been...
I could just get Arno and Yamada from there, but... It wouldn't let me check my inventory.
Hey, what about my photos?
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Alors, they should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Well, this woman had fooled him easily enough. And found the evidence the police had missed.
Or a bad girl, Nico. We should stop using people like that. Just as soon as we solve this murder.
The pipes weren't going to help my investigation.
I'm assuming she can't get down there.
There might have been clues down there, but I was relieved I didn't have a sewer key.
Ah.
I needed to take a closer look at the objects I'd found in Plantard's pouch.
Oh, right. She didn't look at this yet in this playthrough.
The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel in the room below the conciergerie.
Yeah, because we looked at it, but not... Yeah.
The strange metal artifact I found in Plantard's pouch had pointed back to the quayside.
Is there going to be anything to stop us from just going through this again? get our little mini lever back.
I removed the shell case.
No, we need to just use it on that, but I'm curious if there's any signs of someone having been down here since we were.
There was nothing else in the drawer.
Is that a letter on the desk? Oh. You really don't care? Okay. Oops. Screen moved and I misclicked. Let's see what's in here then.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too. A photograph had been torn up. If I could just arrange the pieces.
I'm going to guess this is a picture of her father and the other side of that thingy picture that we had. There, so it will lock them to the side. Ah. Okay, and it will also lock them into place once we've got it right. Puzzles I can deal with. Puzzles aren't substitution savers. Hey, what? How is that even locking? Oh, this must be. This goes here. Goes here. Doesn't go there. That goes there. At least it's nice enough to lock them. There's some puzzles that wouldn't be so nice like that.
Oh my God. It can't be.
Yep.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa. Oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Crachon, while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
I guess we're gonna go wait for him to show up. I keep thinking that truck is going to run her over. And we're George again. With our pitiful inventory. Compared to Nico.
I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked. The door was shabby and in need of a coat of paint. I couldn't imagine the Collard woman living here.
Guess we gotta ask how to get in.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to. Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street.
I tried the door, but it's locked.
You know, I've told the landlord about that 1,000,000 times. It is a damp. The whole building is like a sponge. It sucks up the moisture from God knows where.
You mean the door is stuck because it's swollen?
That is correct. There is an art to opening it. Don't shove too hard. Just give it a gentle nudge above the lock.
Thanks for the advice.
So we can get
Are
in
the
now.
flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know? How
This
does
is
this
fun.
fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months, she's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Now just remember, this conversation will have no bearing on the plot, so just act as though nothing happened.
Have you seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall and thin as a broomstick. He kept his face hidden. But I saw his eyes peering from evil little slits.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with a hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
So she's being spied on by a constipated Lord Voldemort. Interesting.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Mademoiselle Collard?
No, monsieur.
Yeah, let's
See you later.
go
That's right,
elbow the
monsieur.
door.
You will.
Get on with this.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George. Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
My editor told me to drop the story. Can you believe it?
But you're not going to do that.
Oh, no. I'm going to find out what's behind these killings. It just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
Yep. I'm wondering if the reason it sounds a bit different here is because these two were in a studio together recording their lines off each other or something. And that accounts for the small differential. They can't have had a huge full sound acting budget in the, 96.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arno Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mime to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cachon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death.
Either or.
Tell me more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
Oh, God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Wait, what did you use potatoes for in printing? Or are they like making stamps out of potato? I think people did that.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
George, no one likes your tissue.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Now George knows where that nose came from. In a context other than random address written down in the nose.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
Yeah, I was going to go with crescent moon there. That really doesn't look much like a horseshoe, George.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but, well, I had a job to do.
That appears to be all we can do, so...
I have to go.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Well, we got some interesting information there. And I think next time we're going to... I believe that's it. Where the whatchamacallit clown nose was made. But I'll see you then. Later, everyone.